Hello and thank you for joining me on another Novel Escape. My name is Trevon Grant and this is going to be another book review on Alita Battle Angel. This is going to be the movie novelization. Let's go! Now, Alita Battle Angel, despite its sort of mediocre reviews, has actually become a cult classic. Alita Battle Angel started out as comic books and are actually manga. And for those who are fans of the manga, they love the movie, they love the film. And so, but this is my first dive, my first look into the story of Alita Battle Angel is through the novel. Now, this might not be a very good introduction on my part, but this book is about a doctor who finds the remnants of a cyborg in a junkyard. The cyborg is a young girl who reminds him of his dearly departed daughter, and so he takes this cyborg who was missing all her major limbs. He gives her a new body with flowers. He gives her something that's pretty with flowers and gold inlays, and of course, it's only natural that this doctor, Dr. Ito, is probably one of the leading cyborg scientists and doctors in the area. He does like repairs and stuff like that to different cyborgs. Now, this girl remembers nothing about her past, remembers nothing about her story, but as different situations come up where her life becomes in danger, some of these memories start to return and she starts to remember who she really is and her natural abilities. Now, Alita starts to get the attention of the wrong people, and as a result gains enemies, very powerful enemies in the highest order. Now, again, Alita wakes up remembering absolutely nothing, and one of the things I think that is important, or that comes up in the very beginning of the story, is that the doctor gives her an orange, and she tastes an orange, something that is completely normal, everyday, fruit that everybody has, right? An orange, and she takes a bite out of that orange and bites through the skin, and it tastes horrible, right? But then the doctor peels the orange, gives it to her, and she eats it, and it's like mind blown. So everything, and then an orange becomes like her favorite fruit. Now later on, a little bit later in the story, she meets this young guy who gives her a square of chocolate, and she eats the chocolate and is like, all of a sudden it becomes her favorite food. So you have this general idea right off the bat that Alita is very new to this world. We're seeing the world through her eyes. She is completely naive to the evils or the goods or whatever might be in the world. She's just like a brand new baby at 14 years old, right? And that's sort of the mindset that the story starts out with. So, also in the beginning of the story, Alita, while petting the dog, was almost trampled by a giant robot. Her danger instincts kicks in, and she was able to save this dog, and she does it in such like a death-defying way, preventing the dog from becoming complete roadkill, right? So some of the things that she never knew that she could do, she would automatically do them, and do them instinctively. So even though she's this kind of naive and innocent girl, she is like the girl that can kick everybody's butt. And this is how the book starts. Some of the things I like about this book is that it has a ton of action, which I absolutely love. This book is also paced very well. For the first 50 to 60% of the book, there's some like brand new things that just keeps popping up. Brand new things that are happening. There's new things that are being revealed, new and interesting things that shows up, and that kind of captures your attention, captures your imagination. So this book has a really good and steady pace. Now, the world in this book is also something that I really like. The power structure between Iron City and Zalem. Iron City is this sort of post-apocalyptic world where most everyone lives, and there's also a floating city called Zalem, which is sort of like your heavenly realm where everybody wished they lived, right? So Iron City just sounds like a complete dump. Zalem sounds like the place where everybody wants to be or strives to be, and the only people living in Iron City are pretty much the people who just feel like life is hopeless. Another thing I like was the constant flow of antagonists. Iron City itself is a dangerous place to live. The laws of the city is fast, it's loose. Alita's very presence and power makes it hard for her not to make enemies, yet her personality draws friends, and powerful friends at that. Now, some of the things I did not like about this book, I did not like where the character went. She started out as this kind of very naive girl that's new to the world. Everything is exciting, everything is interesting. And it took a while for the character to actually start to transform. And actually, she did not truly transform into a formidable personality, at least until like the very end of the book. And it feels as if there should be a second book, but because this is a novelization of the movie, then of course, without there being a second movie, there's probably not gonna be a second book, and which is probably the thing that brings this book down. And so if you really want more of Alita, and if you really want to read more or get more into the world, I would probably just recommend going straight to the manga. I like competent characters. I like characters who are solid, who are able to handle themselves and the world around them. But even so, competent characters at times get their butts whooped. All right, they are not perfect. They have issues. They face psychological challenges and so on and so on. These are some of the characters I personally enjoy. Alita, I thought, was just too perfect. Even in the middle of getting her butt whooped, where she lost most of her limbs, she still was able to get up on her arms, flip into the air, shove one arm into this thing's eye, and incapacitate her enemy long enough to get help. So she just seemed like too much of a perfect character, and as a result, just didn't feel like she progressed at all in the story. So in conclusion, this story ends up being unresolved towards the end, and unfortunately I don't see plans for a second movie. Now it's been 2 years since this movie was released, and there hasn't been any plans for a second movie or to continue the franchise of Alita, and therefore I can't really recommend getting into this book because it leaves you on such a cliffhanger, and it leaves you in such a place that it builds, it's supposed to build onto a second book, right? It's not meant for it to be a standalone. So as a standalone, this book is getting a 3.6 stars, and it's not getting my recommendation as something that you should read. I think you should just skip this book, and if you want Alita, get into the manga. Even if you saw the movies, I would just recommend just go to the manga, and I think you'll get a more complete story in the manga and not in this book. All right, anyways, thank you for joining me again on another Novel Escape. My name is Trevon Grant, and this was the book review on Alita. Definitely go ahead and subscribe, hit like on the like button if you do like it. It really helps me out a lot. All right, thanks again. Peace.